Hello and welcome to the EMBN Show, everyone. Today is going to be a banger, eh, Steve?
Yes, it's going to be a spiritual experience today. How could it be anything else with Rich Payne on show? YT Decoy SN, a brand new bike from the German speed specialist.
Supernatural.
You're weird. Weird. Yes, YT. I mean, this is what they say is their best enduro bike to date.
Yeah.
And they have made some fantastic enduro bikes in the past. I mean, let's not forget the YT Capra. I actually went to Israel for the launch of that bike back, crikey, was it 10 years ago? We were in the desert. There was a goat born. I mean, they have made some fantastic enduro bikes. Jack Moyer is currently ruling
He just won at the weekend.
Nice to see Jack back on top.
Yeah,
right?
he's on form, right? Now, what they're saying, Steve, is that this doesn't replace your analog experience. It enhances it.
On that note, I want to ask you, what is an analog experience these days?
Purely human-powered and nothing else.
Okay, right.
No assistance, I suppose.
Yeah, I suppose. But what is the experience like? Is it a nice experience?
It can be.
Yeah?
Can be, yeah. It can be horrible.
I just see lots of people spending their time in chairlifts and bike parks on dirty vans. Is that true?
It sounds like your weekend, doesn't it? Most weekends.
Okay, the bike then. 160, 170 will travel, 29, 27.5.
Yeah, three models.
Three models, Core 2, Core 3, Core 4, different price points. I think the Core 2 is €8,399.
Yes.
The key thing about the YT Decoy SN is the fact it's got Fazua Ride 60 system in it with a 430 watt-hour battery. Now, if you're familiar with the Fazua Ride 60, it's got 4 levels, and it's got included in that is that Super Boost, which gives you maximum amount of power for those techie climbs. But I think with this bike, Rich, it's about, when they say it's not about replacing, I think it's a bike that you can chuck on the uplift. I mean, rumour has it that most uplifts in the UK now are loaded with e-bikes.
I see it a lot at Bike Park Wales and things. Yeah. So, a day at Bike Park Wales, every uplift, say, fits, 20, 25 bikes on. Probably a quarter of those on every shuttle to the top is an e-bike.
Wow. And I think it makes sense. If you only got one bike in your fleet, you want to go and ride the cool trails at bike parks, maybe Dovey as well. But I think the message here is an e-bike can be the bike which you can do the uplift on, but also you can go and do some enduro and cross-country rides on as well. So it's not one or the other. It's to complement the other, right? Yeah. I mean, if you can do it all, they all share the same ultra-modulus carbon fibre frame. There's no need to get toe tech, is there?
They might like it sometimes.
20.72 kilograms.
All right, calm down. We got a head angle of 64.2 or 63.9.
Now, are we?
Yeah, why not?
Why not, Rich? Why not?
Let's go all the way in, Steve. Go on, hit him with some more stats.
78-degree seat angle.
Oh, and
443mm chain state. I did that without even looking at the charts.
A reach in a large of 473.
What size would you be on
I'd be on a large. Well, no, I might go an XL.
I reckon you'd be on XL.
Yeah,
I'm not even looking at the geometry numbers. I'm not looking at the geometry numbers.
Yeah,
I'm looking at the camera.
Excellent presenting.
I'd be an XL, I think, and
I think I'd be. You're 6 foot, aren't you?
6 foot, yeah.
Are you?
Yeah, 75 kilos a minute.
Get off.
Results from the EDRE last weekend. Flo Espinera Herreras. What an absolute legend.
Yeah.
Probably one of the best e-mountain bike climbers I've ever seen. She actually gets it. She's trained to ride power stages. She knows about cadence. She knows about momentum, line choice.
How to use that bike perfectly, right?
And composure. She's so composed.
Whilst in the men's, Ryan Gilchrist took his second win of the season. Aboard the Yeti E160.
Isn't it interesting, isn't it? Like a year ago, we were talking about, maybe a bit more than a year ago, that if you didn't have a Bosch bike, you'd be nowhere on a power stage. Yeah. Now, Ryan Gilchrist, in the last 18 months, EPA to 1, is literally tearing it apart. And you mentioned earlier, there seems to be a lot of previous EDRE racers now racing in the e-bike category, right?
Yeah. I was looking sort of through, and you got Jose Borges, Kevin Mikel, both very good, very well established analog or normal EDR racers.
Natural riders.
I don't know how to word it. It's really hard, isn't it?
This is the whole thing about natural. I mean, it's all natural if we're human beings, right?
Well, they're all human powered. It's just assisted or unassisted.
But you've still got to have human. There's got to be natural because there's a human being riding the bike.
That's what I mean. Yes, it's regardless of the bike.
You trying to pick a fight?
Yeah, go on, then. No.
Who'd win?
Oh, get on.
Arm wrestle? No. Come on, let's go on the show.
You want to give me quick? All right, Rocky Mountain Reaper Powerplay.
Thank you.
Hit me with the stats, Steve.
Well, it's a child's e-mountain bike, basically, where you can have, well, a young person's e-bike. Can I say that? Have I said something wrong?
You can't. No, you haven't said anything wrong.
It's a bike. It's the bike that can metamorphose between 24 and 26 inch as the child gets older.
Metamorphose?
Metamorphose.
You have said something wrong. Huh? Is it not metamorphosize?
Let's get the adjudicator on it.
You're gonna have to arm wrestle over it.
We're not going to arm wrestle over a word. Look, let's stick to the facts here.
Right.
Did you not see The Incredible Hulk? He metamorphosed between a person and... Did you see him, like?
Gillian!
Anyhow, children's
we got
sizes,
waylaid.
4'1", 4'6", and up to 5 foot. The details on it, it's got the Rocky Mountain Dyname S4 mini motor, 40 Newton meters with 300 watts of peak power.
That's quite a lot of power, isn't it?
It is. It's kind of like a
lightweight e-bike,
low assist mountain bike. Yeah. 120mm travel up front. Prices, the 24-inch version is €4,700. I mean, it's a lot of money, but then a motorcycle is a lot of money, isn't it?
Yeah.
How much is it, kids? How much is like an RM80 these days?
Oh, I wouldn't. No, I don't know.
Well, it sounds to me, Rich, that soon you'll be having to find out those kind of details.
I will. I'll get on the 50 first.
And a bike that we saw last year was the Crossworx, and we saw the Crossworx
Trip 290, right?
Trip 290. We saw this bike at Eurobike last year with a classified setup and the Gates carbon drive. They now brought the bike out with the Bosch SX motor. It's a fantastic looking bike with fantastic geometry on it. The details on it, 29-inch wheels, 140, 150mm travel, 400 watt-hour battery, 18.5 kilos.
That's a good weight, I feel.
Yeah.
I think that's a good weight for a new bike.
Do you think weight matters?
I do, yeah. I still do. I think it matters to the handling. But I think when you get past a certain weight or you're on a certain power, weight then matters a lot less.
Yeah, I think there's an envelope, which I think is like maybe 18 to 25 kilos. Obviously, it depends on you, the rider, as well.
100%.
Yeah, and the battery size. I mean, you can have a
travel as well.
Travel as well.
Many things.
So many things.
There are.
We're getting sidetracked.
Yeah, 65 folks. Head angle. I'm going to hit seat tube of 79, 480 reach in a large, and it has a flip chip.
So does the YT Decoy, by the way. Forgot to say that. Folks, let us know your thoughts on these fantastic new bikes. You're weird.
Met competition winners. Now, this was for your chance to win a Met Parachute MCR helmet. Competition winners are on screen now. Congratulations. But Robert Carlson, Anthony Nazal, and Peter Van Eyck.
Yeah. So remember,
smashed it.
Yeah, absolutely smashed it. Remember, folks, that the parachute is a helmet which can metamorphose between a full face and you take the chin guard off and it's an open face as well.
Best of both worlds, right?
I'm actually look at my thesaurus.
Cool.
So, whilst Rich is going through the change, let's change our subject to cool places and what you guys have been up to this week. This is... Richard, can we focus, please? This is from Glenn. Where? This is in Carcassonne in France.
Yeah, that's cool, isn't it? I like that. That looks lovely.
I'd like to do more riding in France.
We?
This
is a local ride near his house. I mean, if that's your back garden,
it is, isn't it?
And
what about Nick then on his? This is a pile of baby heads in the North Pennines.
Again, we've said it before, but that's somewhere we don't go enough.
Exactly.
As well.
Yeah.
That's a cool shot and a cool
baby
place.
heads, Rich.
Yeah, bring them on.
Yeah, it's a word you might be familiar with.
Yeah.
And next up. This is Rob, 1963, 2-week trip in the Black Forest region. Beautiful area, rides of 1,500 metres of climbing. This is a Turbo Lever Comp 2020. Upgrades, Hopetech brakes, Stemmer pedals, float X-ray shock, Schwalbe eddy current tyres. Did you see Amaury Piron win the World Cup in Leger?
Yeah, how could you have not?
So I had an interesting conversation about tyres with a few people. Like for me, it was the fact that he was on Dirty Dan's full spike tyre was a no-brainer.
100%, but they were first rides, so they weren't your standard compound or anything, that's the thing.
Yeah, it seems to me he is not sliding. I think he's got a very good tyre on that bike.
I mean, it proved it when he destroyed everyone by, what, 6.5?
Incredible race, right.
Next up, Captain Achab.
Yeah. You see, I thought this was in Scotland, but it's not actually, it's in the Apennines.
Where's the Apennines?
The Apennines are to the east of...
Just to the east.
Of Hungary, or is it Romania? Hungary, Romania area. Damn, my geography's slow this morning.
Called you out.
Folks, thanks so much for sending in your fantastic, inspirational locations that you would ride your e-mountain bikes. Certainly makes us want to go and ride in different places, right, Rich?
Yeah, but hold on to your hat, Steve, because incoming feedback. First up then, from Nomads Rowing. What's this from then, Steve?
This is a video I did last weekend, which is, the title was, Is This the World's Best eMTB?
Oh.
And the reason for it is we've got some very reputable
Brands?
websites that talk about the Canyon Strive being the best e-mountain bike in the world. And we have one right here.
Mine is right there, yeah.
I mean, it is a fantastic bike. But then you also have the likes of Fabian Burrell, who's won the World Cup Series on the Canyon Strive. So there's two reasons why it could be the best bike in the world. But at the same time, we're forgetting the likes of Flo Espargera, who's also the reigning e-Enduro World Cup champion twice on an all-bear rise. So is that bike the best bike in the world?
Or Gilchrist, who's currently proving that you can do it on a Yeti now.
Exactly. So the thing is with e-mountain bikes, right, it depends where you ride, how you ride, your price point, if you're looking at reliability. There's so many aspects to the best bike in the world tag.
Well, that's it. And Nomads Rowing says, definitely a can of worms there, Steve. As you point out, 99% of us could not tell the difference.
Well, that is actually in relation to my comment in the video where I say, actually, do you know what? Most of us don't need the millions of dials on forks or shocks. No. You know, I've seen many top 5 e-Enduro World Cup racers who've got the mid-range Fox 38 fork on their bikes. Are
you a fit and forget or a Twizzler?
I'm definitely a fit and forget.
Yeah, me too.
Once I've got my sag right, got my sag right, got the dial somewhere in the middle, good to go. Personally, I think tyre pressure is underrated.
That's something I check a little bit more, but we're getting sidetracked. MS Custom Lures, is this on the same video, Steve? But he says
everything's on the same video.
Right, the best eMTB is the one that you can afford within your budget for the trails terrain you ride. Couldn't agree more.
And then Rob Askins, everyone thinks that they have the best dog or bike. Absolutely true, right?
Yeah.
Have you got a dog?
Not yet. Got a cat. He's a nutter.
What's the cat called?
Milo the Destroyer.
My cat's called Sonny, after Sonny Bill Williams, the rugby player.
Oh, okay.
You see the rugby in the weekend?
No.
Oh, let's move on quickly from that one, shall we? And in relation to some Eurobike coverage, Tony Corelli's asking about the Amflow DJI bike. When and where can I get one? How much? The Amflow, the Amflow PL will be available from dealers in Germany, the UK, and Australia very soon. But I think they're going to expand that network. And the bikes cost between $7,000 and $12,000, depending on the spec. But this is yet to be confirmed. Yes, folks, we've got lots of news from DJI coming soon on the channel. And then interesting comment from Scott Molinari. It's mind-blowing how many companies are jumping into the eMTB market. Is the demand really that big, or is the hype so huge it's misleading? I think there are some...
I think it's a mix.
From what I see out on the trails, there is the demand. There is a hunger for getting out on the countryside. I think there are some brands which are a little bit suspect.
Agreed.
On that subject, actually, we went to Hall 9 in Eurobike, which is where some of the obscure end of things, and we saw a fantastic group of people from India, and they had some phone tech which you can have on your e-mountain bike. Their bike was less than $500. And
it'd be great to get hold of one. Do you remember what they were called?
I think it was called Dyname, right?
Dyname.
From India, from Chennai in India. What a fantastic group of people, and a bike which is the right price point. And
Sounds like we need to get hold of one.
And we saw some bikes which they got coming in the future, full suspension bikes for the right money. So it's a very complicated question. Why don't we tackle that question on a next weekly show?
Steve. I think we should.
Thanks for your feedback, guys.
Great. Have a look at this. Bike vault time now, everybody. And we've got David the Fat Biker. Check out my new Cube Hybrid 140 HPC SLX. Refound his love for cycling with it. What a bike, look.
Yeah, thanks to all the presenters who have guided you over the years. That's super nice, right?
Yeah, definitely. Thank you very much.
And then next up is New Welch 333, currently putting the miles in for 2 charities by completing a virtual Land's End to John O'Groats.
Oh, blimmin' heck.
The photo's outside Holbeck near Cresswell Crags in Nottinghamshire.
Beautiful.
That's a nice shot, isn't it?
That's lovely.
Nice bike.
A virtual Land's End to John O'Groats.
Do you live in a virtual world, Rich?
Who said that?
You're weird.
NT17. I'm new to the eMTB world. Treated myself to a high bike, all trail free, as I'm recovering from surgery after breaking my leg. Hopefully you're recovering well. This photo is from a weekend ride in the New Forest.
That's a
Love
super nice.
New Forest,
Super nice. 2019 white E150 charged to a mullet and a Fox Performance 38-29-4 Cope Fortis.
Solid spec.
30, great spec. This is from Scouting 4. And that is a super nice to conclude this week's Bike Vault, Rich.
Keep them coming in though. Link to the uploader is in the description down below. We like to see bikes of all shapes and sizes. So yeah, keep them coming. Thank you very much. Wow, Space Steve with us here. Okay, let's get social. First up, Matteo Ruffray.
Yeah.
Look at him.
E-Enduro World Cup racer on the power stage. When are we going to see you on the power stage, Rich?
Well, I did. Do you remember I did EWS in Scotland?
Okay, when are we see you again?
Sooner rather than later, hopefully. I'd like to.
Excellent. And what about Adrian Gugamos? I mean, this guy is he's a phenomenal bike handler.
That stoppie around the berm is cool, isn't it? To want it out.
He's a phenomenal bike handler.
I like
How are you getting on with the trials, Rich?
All right, I'm enjoying it. Yeah, on the little Osset, it's fun.
Loving it, mate.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, we got to get out.
We need to get out on the Osset.
My favourite thing is just big old hill climbs.
Yeah?
Love a big hill climb. I
think we'll be the judges of that on the severity of hill climbs.
Definitely. Okay, all right. Moving on.
This is quite a climb. This is from Paul Tares. Is he on an e-bike? Of course he's on an e-mountain bike. That is a very severe climb.
Oh my days, you ain't getting up that on a normal bike. And if anyone has got up that on a normal bike, fair play.
What's normal, Rich, in today's EMBN show?
Not us. That's social for this week. Some really cool clips, as always, isn't there?
That's it.
But what is coming up on the channel?
Well, I'll need to check my list. Coming up on the channel this week, Rich, is...
Greatness, obviously.
So are e-bikes waterproof? Now, I've actually thrown a giant sink drive, which is a Yamaha motor, into a river and it still works. We've seen loads of brands of Eurobike having goldfish bowl-like tanks with motors on them spinning around.
Bet the fish weren't happy.
However, the reality is that many people have motor failure because of moisture in the motors. So we're going to go into detail into the testing and the possible causes on the channel this weekend.
Nice. That is actually quite a good video to look forward to because I am quite guilty with the pressure washer sometimes.
Okay, right. Is this part of the video or is it show or is that?
I was just talking really. Yeah, it can be. Throw it in.
Let us know your thoughts on waterproof e-bike motors.
But that is done for the show this week. It's been a pleasure to be on.
It's been nice having you, Rich.
Has it really?
It's been weird, but then you go. It's been a supernatural, spiritual show.
Thank you.